Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Hours, and we are practicing for the Sweatsuit Invitational, which for some reason this week is going to be War of the Spark. Now, before I opened this pack, chat informed me that I'm contractually obligated to take and play Nicol Bolas if we open it. So I'm gonna. Generally speaking, I think that would be the pick out of this anyway, because I want to be in Grixis colors if at all possible. And I'll look at this as we're setting ourselves up to be base black, and we'll either splash the red or the blue. But yeah, that just happened. So YouTube, you were here for it, but I mean, there's a subtle theme. Can I get some boluses in chat? Chat told me if I opened this, I had to take it and play it. So we're doing that. I'm kind of sad that I'm using all of my luck points now instead of at the actual tournament, but you know what? We'll take it because Bolas is incredibly powerful. But I've got a group of stream viewers and some other streamers here that are playing with us. The streamers that you may know are Metal Mario, the Manaleek, the Game Mechanic, and the Nerdy Steve. So Narset was mostly a card drawing engine. It was certainly not bad, but it was not much better than Tamiyo's Epiphany. I'm kind of tempted to take Spark Harvest and then let the Manaleek and Nobody and Metal Mario get a pack with literally no black cards in them. And again, it's not that Narset is bad or unplayable. I would probably take it, and I would probably play it. But this is my opportunity to really, really cut black, which is what I want to do now. So I'm going to do that. Dude, if I open a Bolas, I take the Bolas and we play the Bolas. Even in the tournament. It doesn't matter. I'm doing it. Have you read that card? It's absurd. All right, so Soren's Thirst wasn't actually very good, is a bit of our issue here. And Avon Eternal is kind of busted. So I think what we're going to do is look to be blue-black and splash the red for Bolas. Because Avon Eternal was very good. I certainly plan on it, Render. But like, this is just a 3-mana 3/3, and 2/3 of it has flying. It's great. The Sweatsuit's tomorrow. So today, as we're recording this, it is Wednesday. The Sweatsuit is on Thursday. But yeah, hang in there and watch it. So like, I kind of still want to cut black, but Soren's Thirst isn't good enough to cut black for. Not usually, although sometimes I am. All right, here we've got a problem with the cards in our colors just sort of aren't here. But this is also just a bit of a garbage pack. Like, there's Bond of Revival, which is a 5-mana hasty copy of the worst card in your graveyard, or the best card in your graveyard, which is fine. What's actually looking open is white, which sort of doesn't surprise me. Strix is playable adjacent. And it does have the opportunity of it's at least something that can threaten a Planeswalker. So I don't hate the Strix. What I hate is fourth picking one. Yeah, outside of the Pegasus, this pack is actively bad. But I'm still going to take it with the idea that I want to cut. And if this doesn't work in this pod, it won't work tomorrow. So it may be that I like should just sit down and plan to draft white. But I'm not happy about fourth picking the Strix. However, I am pretty happy now. Although I'm a bit confused about the Mizium Tank, because that was not a bad card. But Thunderdrake's pretty good. Tamiyo's Epiphany's pretty good. The Dam Breaker's pretty good. I remember playing No Escape some. But I'm pretty happy with the Thunderdrake here. So we're basically blue, not passing any black, and sending some signals for red. I do need to pick up a way to splash this, which I do not yet have. You might be blue-red. We're not blue-red. We're black-blue splashing Bolas. You have to understand, Andy, I opened Nicol Bolas, so what are we going to play? I think I would do this in the tournament, too, because it's my favorite card in the set, and it's really good. Yeah, white is actually what's open. So there's a Guild Globe that could help splash this, but card draw is also fixing, if you think about it. Yeah, it's out of our hands. Isaiah gets it. This is not much better than divination, but it is divination. Yeah, I think blue-white would be our seed. Ironically, though, the Trusted Pegasus is not very good in blue-white. Because half of your creatures have flying anyway, so who cares? What is it doing? It's just a Windrake, and Windrake isn't good enough these days. The discard was okay, although not great. I played the Silverwing some too and didn't love it. But again, I really want to drive this home because I know that the Mana Leak will read signals. And I'm going to send you some big signals, buddy. You think you're playing black? You're not. I mean, maybe you can, but you're not getting them from me. Because if I got to play a pile of garbage with Nicol Bolas, I'm going to do it. Isaiah, thank you for the sub, bud.
Sem God, Sem old.
Y'all spam some sim gods for Isaiah. Thank you, my friend. I mean, cats are fine too if you want to spam cats. But it feels more like a sim god moment to me. The Wall of Runes is kind of actively bad. But so is everything else in this pack. Someone is helping me cut black, which should result in great black cards being passed to me in the next pack. If they're not, I'm in some bigly troubles. Okay, Mana Geode is my fixing for Bolas. Ashiok Skulker's pretty good too. Duskmantle Operative was at least okay. But now we've got this settled. That's how I'm splashing the Bolas. Yeah, I shouldn't be looking for 23rd cards, though. And I do actively like having a Mind Rot in the sideboard. Red is not open. Green-white, now that we can see, is actually what's open. And somebody will get a good version of that deck. This was actually a reasonable card, too. I think I'm more likely to want Wall of Runes in this deck than I am Unlikely Aid. And if we want to drill down to it, here's why. All of my threats so far are flying threats, which means they're not really going to get into combat that often, which means the combat trick isn't going to do that much. But they suck at blocking, which is something I might want to do, and Wall of Runes can actually help with that. So like it was something that was a bit thought out. I'm not going to play Crush Descent, but I'm going to hack it here so they can see no blue-black cards. Get out of my colors. So I think while normally you'd be correct that Unlikely Aid was a 23rd card and the Wall was a 27th card, with the build that we have so far, I think I'd be more likely to play the Wall. I don't think I want to play any of them, but I could. Those are all just bad cards. All right, so if I did this right, we get hooked up in the next pack. And if I didn't, we just have a garbage pack of cards with Bolas. So let's see if I tricked them. Kind of doesn't matter when you open Command the Dreadhorde, does it? Like, we're certainly blue-black now. I would like the Bob Nicholas's Cruelty. Yeah, fair enough. I'd just take this pack and play it. but that is for us. All right, pass me the good black cards. Let me see them. YouTubers, if you are enjoying the video and this type of content, let me know in the comments and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. That way you will always get the latest drafts when they come up. I don't remember hating Bob Nicholas. I also don't remember it being great, to be fair. Because it was mostly some damage for your opponent. And then like you could blow up your own creature, but you usually didn't want to. And you really didn't want to give him the 2 cards. Because I think I would probably play the Erratic Visionary and just run 18 lands. I would also play 1 Sorin's Thirst. I think I'd rather have the Visionary. Sorry, Bob. I'm trying to build a functional deck with this pile. It is a good sign that a decent black card was passed. It's just not one that I really want. It gives reach to a deck that I don't think wants it. I don't think I would want to splash Chandra's Triumph as well. Wouldn't hate it, but don't think I want it. All right, so here we've got Herald of the Dreadhorde, which I remember reasonably liking. Yeah, the splash is really weak. Right now I have a mana geode for it. I'm trying to decide if I want Kasmina's Transmutation. This is pretty good at like handling problem creatures unless it's an army. Shouldn't have to third pick a Prismite. Herald and the Transmutation are both better than that. I think Herald's a lot better than that, but I think I'd rather have the interaction here. These are both commons. Like, I don't think I have to stress that much about it. I did actively like 1 Tidebearer Giant in my decks. Just here's a big body, draw you a card. Death Sprout's the best card here, but not for us. They are, but I'm going to have a deck with Nicol Bolas in it. I do feel like I'm fighting the entire table for this, but I have no regrets. If I have to crash and burn with Nicol Bolas in my heart, I'll do it. Because they're going to have a blue-black deck that doesn't have Nicol Bolas in it, and I'm going to have one that does. We may have to organize another one of these so I can try to draft reasonably. The Church of Bolas is proud of your statements. All right, Narset's Reversal is bad. Lazotep Reaver's nice. I haven't played the God Pharaoh statue before, but we're not doing it here. We're taking this Reaver. This is more good, solid stuff to block with. Yeah, we don't have enough good black, except for like 2 of the best black cards in the format. So it's like, we're probably playing blue-black. I'd also like one of the guild lands if I can get it. I didn't hate Vampire Opportunist. I didn't love Relentless Advance, but you did need enough 2-drops. Oh yeah, we'd play like 5 Reapers. Reaper was great. Firemine's not terrible for fixing, but I've already got a Mana Geode, which does about the same thing. But I think I'm pretty happy with an opportunist to attack and block. You needed 2 drops so that if somebody played a planeswalker, you could attack them. It is available in Arena, Andy. We're doing it literally right now. Totally Invasion I liked a good bit. I also liked Vraska's Finisher. Vraska's Finisher was a decent way to chunk out planeswalkers and creatures that had blocked. Yeah, that's literally what we're doing, Andy. You could be doing this. So how many opportunists do I want? You don't open new packs. You also don't spend any money, which is pretty neat. Because I could play a Dam Breaker, but it's not going to be great here. It's going to put counters on maybe the Drake, maybe the Bolus. I think I'd rather just have access to another opportunist. I don't think I'm planning on playing both, but I remember wanting 5 to 6 2-drops here. Yes. And you can draft any format you want. Bob Wheeled. I'd at least like access to it. Yeah, this is just like drafting on Arena, but you're not paying money to do it. And you can play with your friends. So if you wanted to, instead of 3 of you in a Discord channel paying money to draft, you could do this. Yeah, I'll happily play 1 copy of Thirst. That's good. I would like 1 more red piece of fixing if I can get it, but if I need to do 18 lands and just play 2 mountains, I'll deal with it. There's some card draw here with the Visionary and the Triumph. It just goes in. That was a decent way to threaten planeswalkers. None of these really are, but sure, get some green-white cards. I mean, to get the collection necessary to play this, you would still have to buy stuff. So I don't think Hasbro hates this stream. All right, we opened Narset, which I passed earlier, but I think we're taking here. There's not an incredible amount of non-creature spells for us to get, but there's enough. Yeah, the problem was the green-white deck, even when it was good, wasn't that good. Yeah, it needed something, because it just wasn't good. But Narset we can play. I think relatively happily. There's another Avon Eternal, which I remember just the more of these you could get, the happier you were. Ashiok's not entirely unplayable, but it's close. But we're actually building some sort of deck now. Yeah, I don't think it's looking bad. I'd like 2 more removal spells. But, I mean, you do what you can. Oh yeah, the Bounce and Amass spell was looking wonderful. It was the only Amass thing you had in your deck. It was really good. It's just a 2-mana Mana War that kills opposing armies. It was really good. You didn't need anything else to make it good. Interplanar Beacon. I think I'd rather just have a Gateway Plaza here. I also kind of want a Tamiyo's Epiphany, but I've been complaining about not having enough red sources, and this just gives me 1. Well, I've already got a draw 2. I've got some draw here. I've got some draw here. I think just making sure I can reliably cast this is probably worth it. Because I also think we're going to get there on playables. Right? Like, if I need to play Naga Eternal, Wall of Runes, Shadow Fugue, and Bob, we can do that. Well, it would be, except it also doesn't help cast the other things, right? So say I have the Planeswalker land and 2 islands. I can't cast a Lazotep Reaver. I think I probably want the other Visionary and just plan to play 18 lands and loot the cards that matter. Because there's not a lot of them. Like, you've got to remember when you're using a land to splash, if it can cast your main colors as well as your splash, that makes it better. It's like we could have the Planeswalker land, a swamp, an island, and be dying to a 2/2 flyer with Sorin's Thirst in hand. No, Michael, no one has ever played a charity extractor and been happy about it. It's never happened. Hey, there's our Callous Dismissal. Hex, yeah. Welcome to the team. Now I have 6 2-drops. And we're 4 cards short of a deck. And again, if I have to just jam in some relatively bad cards, we can do that. But I don't have to play bad cards. I get to play Vraska's Finisher unless I want her. So I'm not going to have any artifacts other than maybe the Mana Geode. So basically, I'm going to have to cast non-creature spells, and my payoff is I get tokens. I think I'd rather have Vraska's Finisher. Like, I know what I'm getting with this, which is something that's alive, dead. Especially with this many flyers, I could poke a Planeswalker and then kill them. What's up, Exploded? The Elder Spell? Are you kidding me? We would just do that, right? Well, I don't remember this being amazing. But they're gonna have Planeswalkers. It's War of the Spark. Best of 3, obviously. We are civilized people here. So how do we feel about our last card being a Relentless Advance? Because I think I feel okay about it. I wouldn't say great, but okay. It's certainly worth it for the sideboard, but I'm thinking I might main deck it. I don't need any of this. Maybe if somebody just has very few creatures, we can side in the Submersible. It's pretty bad. Yeah, there's a Planeswalker in every pack, so we're going to bump into Planeswalkers. I know Advance is not great, but, well, okay, never mind. Now I don't have to defend it. In this deck, it's okay, but not if I could just have another Thunder Drake. I'd obviously rather have another Thunder Drake. So what do we want to side in? Probably another Thirst if we want it. I don't currently. Yeah, Stealth Mission you could play sometimes, but it wasn't great. And essentially the same thing with Relentless Advance. You could play it sometimes, but it wasn't great. Relentless Advance was okay if you were trying to go for a blue-red spells deck, but that's not where we ended up. I think I'm okay 17 landing this. Skulker shouldn't have been last pick, but I'll take it. All right, I'm going to pause the YouTube video and bring it back with game one because I'm going to be playing this without any real modifications. All right, YouTubers, we are back playing round one against the Nerdy Steve. I didn't change anything in the deck, although I did do something unusual and make sure that all of my lands matched. You can probably imagine why. This is a pretty great hand, but not with one land. I'm not quite that bold. This we can try, though. Obviously, we can never mulligan Bolas. I mean, at least somewhat obviously. I think I'd rather have pressure on the board than the mana geode right now. Hey, what's up, Jordan? Nah, I'd rather just hit a land than you. I mean, Nerdy Steve knows what's up. He got the matching lands too, which I approve of. And just because I think cards aren't... Okay, okay. We were betrayed. Like, I don't consider this to be particularly playable, but it was all right there. They made a Kenji token. What does this actually do? It makes my removal cost more, which is unfortunate, but hopefully we can at least get some more lands here. Boop.
You require control.
Interrupting Manticore makes me a little sad. All right, so what can we do to kind of get things recovered here? I feel like playing the Giant and finishing off the Kasmina gets us essentially stable. Because I can use removal spells from here. Like, there will come a time when we're going to cast the Bolas, don't worry. We're definitely going to Bolas. It might even be now. I kind of want to play a bit around a combat, or a counter spell. So I'm going to give him one more turn. Tell me, yo! Excellent. I'm glad Cardboard Live is working. That is very good news. We're playing against the Nerdy Steve, who is a streamer. You can see his side of this too if you'd like to. It is time. Oh God, listen to him! You telling me that's not amazing? Let your weak minds crumble. It's even kind of okay if they kill him. I don't have to spark the 4-5. I can just block it with this. They're the ones got to do something, not me. Like, I can just kill him and get him back later.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
Do I want to spark it now? Not really. But I could. Like, what board do they even have if I do that? That's what the Strix is for. We can actually start trying to kill him here in a little bit, too. I caught a bug. It's pretty gross. I can get crap out of their graveyard, too, right? So I could get their Casmina, which seems pretty good.
I outsmarted you eons ago.
Outsmarted you eons ago. What you working with over here? A contentious plan and another spellkeeper weird. Okie dokie. I feel pretty confident commanding the Dread Horde now and taking at least your Casmina. Do I want any of my stuff? My stuff all sucks. I don't want any of my stuff. I'll just take your Casmina.
It's us or them. I hope you choose the right side.
I probably shouldn't have cast that because he can get back Raoul's Outburst and start pinging Nicol Bolas with it. So I need to actually stop goofing around and try to win the game. The problem is I'm just having too much fun with Nicol Bolas.
My intellect is without limit.
My students are loyal geniuses.
So I'll start trying to actually win the game here in a minute.
Many mysteries to uncover. I have just the trick for this.
Well, I still can't attack. We're not quite there yet, but soon. Because they're going to have to start sacrificing their board to keep me from ultimating Nikki B. Which is fine. He can just sit here and keep doing his thing. Because that's 6 damage to him, but I'll still be plussing him. Ah, they're going to copy it and do 6. That is something. Might run him out of cards, though.
That almost hurt.
That almost hurt. So there's 5. Done. I'll have to deal with the other one, but I can exile the other one with Nikki B if I need to. And I'll even have more blockers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is fine. Because I get to draw so many more cards.
My schemes are never ending.
Focus on what matters.
With thoughtfulness before action.
This is sorcery, right? Yeah. But now if they want to get back their amass card, cool, I'll just bounce it. I don't think I have any instant speed removal. But I suppose it doesn't hurt to look. Going at me? Okay. It's a little scary.
Such violence.
But this was the story of War of the Spark. This is what Bolus wanted to do, and we've allowed him to do that. Like, that's all he wanted to do. That's all he ever wanted to do. How was he even the bad guy in this story? He just wanted to win the game. So this is indicative of, they've got an absurd amount of burn. Let's appreciate how much burn they have. Because I think they took every Spellgorger or Spellkeeper weird they saw. I kind of want the other Sorin's Thirst to be able to kill something and gain a little bit of life, because I think I may need it. What's wrong with killing everyone? Nicol Bolas. See, you get it. The Strix just sucks. I don't need it, and I don't want it. That's a start. I think generally speaking, I'd rather have the Reaver. It blocks a little bit better against most of their stuff. Hacks into that better too. You want to trade zombie tokens? No? Okay. If you don't want to trade zombie tokens, then I'm going to take my scry now. Thunder, 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 Drake. I'm a little nervous about taking this hit because they do have a ton of burn. I'm scared of the burn.
If you want it, fight for it.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
I'll have you in chains next time.
These things getting big, and I'm worried. Because I got to take one hell of a hit here and then try to stabilize. And that's not going to do it. This just doesn't kill anything that matters. I can do this. That's about all I got. I need this Drake to get bigger. I need a Callous Dismissal. Well, it wasn't going to block anyway, so that's not really a problem, but I'm going incredibly low here. This is somewhat unexciting, but I need the counter. Don't you kill my Thunder Drake. Don't you do it. Ugh. Everybody grab a leg. I liked the previous game better. I didn't like that one as much. Need more blockers. But I gotta hope that was just a bad draw for us. They did obey the command not to kill it, so I guess I can't complain too much. Okay, if we can hit a blue, this is acceptable. Mulligan until you hit Bolus? That is a tract we could take. I got 2 draws at blue to make this hand look pretty good. And I won't have to discard to hand size, so at least there's that. But whiffing on the blue there kind of hurts. Stealing is bad, Mish. Can confirm.
Join my order. Even if my students are loyal and brilliant.
Dang it, Bobby. I can't even spark harvest. I want to spark harvest, but I can't spark harvest. This did not develop well.
We are the future.
I had big plans. It didn't involve this. No! Why does it gotta be like this? Yeah, I just need to hold the land for a little bit, not for a lot of bit. This is not what I wanted, but it's acceptable.
Never seen water. The only prize I desire is your head.
This is pretty awful. Vraska's finisher is kind of our surprise move here. Because I think I have to take out this Kasmina this turn. Which is going to be rough. But I have to take out the Angrath too. This is a hell of a turn.
Regardless, I have learned much.
Don't you counter it. I can't handle it if you counter it. Oh, God. Too good, man. Too good. Oh, guys, I think I screwed up. Ow! Okay, I was annihilated. But you know what? We got to go back and relive the most important part of the War of the Spark story, which was Nicol Bolas casting the Elder Spell and becoming immortal. So in a way, I feel like we actually won the game. And this was actively good practice. I would still take the Bolas in the tournament, but that also does kind of remind me of what War of the Spark was about. There were a lot of planeswalkers. You needed to be able to interact with them early, and if you couldn't, you were in a lot of trouble. So YouTubers, thank you for watching. If you're interested, by the time this video goes live, if you're watching it right at the beginning, you could still come watch the Sweatsuit Invitational at twitch.tv/Semulin. Thank you for tuning in, YouTube. We will see you next time, chat. Say goodbye to YouTube.